All right, so we are recording, you're recording, make sure everyone knows. We are talking today about Kenya's, as told by Kenya's response video to the Will Smith slap. Okay. And oh my gosh, like I watched it and I am just so here for it. It's just, okay, so we're screencasting. All right, we're doing this. So we are presenting now. We're gonna go back because I already had this opened. Just gonna go to our library.
That I'm not talking about this no more. I do not care. I wish I was coming to you guys looking
This is
just
Kenya.
better, but I went on vacation. I'm back. And you know what? I am here to talk about the mess. This is the
The
final end
mess.
all be all. Unless something just crazy, ludicrous happened. Chris Rock shows up to Jada Pinkett and Will Smith's house, guns blazing. I'm not
Guns
talking about this no
blazing.
more. I do not care anymore. I want to give my first and last thoughts on the entire Will Smith bitch slap of Chris Rock. Chris got rocked.
Chris
I want to give my
got
thoughts. My
rocked.
final thoughts. This is how I
Seriously.
feel about it. Okay, I want to start by the obvious. Like, whose side are you on? I don't think it comes in terms of sides. I don't care that Chris Rock got slapped.
I
I
don't
don't care
either.
that Chris Rock got. It's like I feel like when you pick
I'm sorry. I don't care either that Chris Rock got slapped. Like people are talking about it like it's that big a deal. It's just not. It's not.
sides, people try to make it seem like fickle, like you just don't like Chris. You just I do not care that Chris Rock got slapped. I am not one of those people who believe violence, beating somebody's ass is just the worst sin known to mankind. Chris Rock did
Facts.
not get his ass beat. Like I just don't believe that. I just do not believe that.
He got slapped. And also, like, if we go back, actually, I think we could find this. So let's actually find this for a second. So Khadijah talked about this. It's an open hand slap.
Lastly, an open handed slap across the face not only has intention, but is the last thing you intend to say to somebody. This is a
Facts.
period, this is a final sentence. And I don't want to have to repeat myself.
Yes. Okay, let's we're gonna go back. Library. Go ahead.
That I'm not talking about this no more. I do not care anymore. I want to give my first and last thoughts on the entire Will Smith bitch slap of Chris Rock. Chris got rocked. I want to give my thoughts. My final
Sorry
thoughts.
guys, we're
This
going
is how I
back.
feel about it. Okay, I want to start by the obvious. Like, whose side are you on? I don't think it comes in terms of sides. I don't care that Chris Rock got slapped. I don't care that Chris Rock got. It's like I feel like when you pick sides, people try to make it seem like fickle. Like you just don't like Chris. You just I do not care that Chris Rock got slapped. I am not one of those people who believe violence, beating somebody's ass is just the worst sin known to mankind. Chris Rock did not get his ass beat. Like, I
Right.
just don't believe that. I just do not believe that. I believe that sometimes people deserve to get clapped. Clap. Like, watch your mouth. Watch your
Watch your
mouth.
mouth.
And so
Seriously.
that's where I am
That's
with
real.
it. Like, Chris Rock spoke on Jada Pinkett. If you speak on somebody, if you speak on somebody and they are close enough to touch you, you get what you get. Like, stop talking about people. If
You
you
get
don't want
what you
someone to
get.
come,
I'm sorry, there are just certain cultural norms, and Chris knows the cultural norms in this community, and he's fronting like he doesn't. He's fronting like he doesn't know Philly Will and Baltimore Jada. Like that's who he's talking about. That's who he's making jokes about. Everyone else in white society and other communities, like this ain't Latin America. This is not Asian America. We're talking about Black Americans, okay? And like well everybody knows the respect that is normal in this society. Let's stop pretending like we don't know.
hope y'all stop talking about that. I don't know what about that is so bizarre to people that people just can't get on board with that. Chris Rock went on stage, made a joke about Jada Pinkett without her consent. And so she's allowed to go up on stage and get slapped, or anybody is. Like, you talking about somebody, like you were they don't want to be talked about. They do not want to be talked about, and therefore you are getting slapped. So that's where I stand. You don't have to stand there. You do not have to stand there.
This is another point that I would like to make, because I stand in the same place as Kenya before I saw the video. Like, I didn't see this video and then she like changed my mind, right? Like, I felt the exact same way. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, if you have some awful shit to say about me too, and I was in my feelings like Jada, I don't know, a slap might be on the table. But I feel like, just the way that I've walked through the world, like some people just know not to say certain shit to me or about me because I'm going to approach them about it. I'm going to say something about it. This is another thing where a lot of people are too weak, to like stand up and advocate for themselves and talk back. It's like really scary for some people to get up and be like, don't say that about me. I don't like it when you're talking about me like that. Don't do this. And then other people just run through the world saying all type of crazy shit behind people's back and over here, and they want to whisper and tweet shit, but they're too afraid to say it in the real world. Why? Because there's a real possibility that they're going to get crisped. They're going to get rocked. They're going to get their shit rocked. Straight up. This is why you see, and this is what I was saying the other day about Ben Shapiro. He can like literally sit there and then talk about like, oh, this and that, and I feel this way about this person saying that, and critical race theory, and have all these like theories, right? But it's like, even when he like approached an actual black person on the Bill Maher show, like he like shut his shit down. So like, sir, what are you really saying? Like,
I do not care that Chris Rock got slapped. I believe that his joke was tasteless. I hate the fact that when it comes to black women we like, black women we don't like, the first thing we go after is people's hair. Like, as a black woman, your hair is the first thing someone is going to attack.
that's
I
true.
sometimes feel like because niggas can't be outwardly colorist, or they can't be real nasty like they used to be back in the day, they all go for.
No, they are outwardly nasty on the internet all day long. And it's sad. Like I said, the black community and niggerdom is just falling the fuck apart. And I feel bad, because here's the thing, like a woman, a black woman, no matter how unattractive that you believe that she is, a woman in this society has value. Even black women, and I'm not trying to say it like that, but like even the most ugly white woman, the most ugly Latino woman, black woman, any woman has value, because there is a man who wants to reproduce. And that's just a biological thing. There's some man who wants to reproduce. And a lot of y'all men are out here thinking you have all these options in terms of like reproduction. Like there's just women lining up at your door trying to have your children. That's just not the case. If you have one, good for you. Be proud, I guess, of yourself, but also just realize like some time will go on and that woman will eventually wake up too and realize you're not that much of a catch, because none of you losers are. So she'll probably leave too.
Hair. They all go for hair. And you know what? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you bald, you got something to say. You got braids, they got something to say. If you just wear your natural hair, they got something to say. If you got a weave, they got something to say. So you know what? Over here being the black feminist that I am, we don't talk about black women's hair. And so we don't make jokes about black women's hair. So you know what, Chris Rock? You should have got slapped harder, is how I feel. Anyways, here's the thing. I don't need anyone else to hold that stance. That is a personal stance that I hold.
Personal.
My problem with what is going on right now, the people who don't believe Will Smith should have slapped Chris Rock, it is now turning into Will Smith is ridiculous, crazy, he's triggering, he assaulted him, he did it's turning into something ridiculous that it don't have to be. You can say you shouldn't slap people in public. You can say that without.
Thank you. That is what you can say. That can be your opinion. You should not slap people in public. You see how simple that is? you can be on the stance of like, oh well, he didn't need to slap him. He could have vocalized his feelings. You can say that without turning it into Will Smith assaulted Chris Rock. He could have killed him. Oh my god, like come on. Like y'all are taking it was an open hand slap to put this nigga in his place. That's what he did. That's what happened. We all saw it for what it was. If Will Smith is a big dude, if Will Smith wanted to kill Chris Rock, we would have seen some blood. Chris wouldn't have been talking. If he wanted to lay him out, he for sure could have laid him out. Nobody is that Will Smith is a big dude. And he for all the movies he's done, he has some martial arts training. Okay? Like if Will Smith wanted to beat up Chris Rock, he could have done that. All right? He was very intentional with the kind of slap that he caught. It was open hand and it knocked that nigga's head back. Okay, it wasn't gonna kill him, but he got bitch slapped.
Turning it into all of that. You can have the opinion that you should not put your hands on other people without turning it into this weird, angry black man thing. Will is just in so much pain and he's just so terrible. And we were all so triggered. That's my problem. That is my problem with everything that has come out. People acting like it is just this sin against humanity that Chris Rock got beat up. I want to begin by saying white folks and the people who are on Chris Rock's side are not on Chris Rock's side.
No,
that's why Chris Rock comes out as the biggest loser in here because I promise you, Chris, they're not on your side. We should all learn from this. Black people, we should learn that if Will Smith can get these white folks acting like this, there is nothing you can do. Nothing. You can do to get them not to act like this way towards you. You can literally be Will Smith has been the nicest actor in the world. White people love Will Smith. All it took is one slap for them to all of a sudden be triggered by him. He's crazy. He made women look bad. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
He made women look bad. I'm offended. That's all it took was a slap. It took was a slap to do it. So imagine your black ass. Imagine you didn't make Men in Black. You didn't make The Pursuit of Happiness. Imagine what they gonna do to you.
You didn't make The Pursuit of Happiness.
To you. So I hope this moment teaches everyone that respectability politics are bullshit. You don't, eventually it stops. The minute you start to be yourself or you do something they don't approve of, it does not protect.
Yes, the respectability politics only hit the limit of like what they are comfortable with at a particular time. It's like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I think some of y'all really get confused about like what slavery and Jim Crow was at its core. None of that was about respectability politics. It's about racism. Like, remember when white people were really comfortable throwing back black babies to alligators? They were comfortable then. That shit was on TV, the movies, the Oscars, everywhere. It was normal. Okay? Like when they were lynching black people from trees, it was normal. It was like just another day at the office for Jim and Mary. Not like it wasn't like they weren't surprised. Nobody was talking about violence. They were literally acting out the violence, laughing about it with the police, and then continuing to go like, this is America. We know the violence.
Protect you. Respectability does not protect you. And in this game of life is all about protection, protecting yourself, protecting the people that you love so that everyone lives a comfortable life. When you don't have protection, you have nothing. You have nothing. And that is what we have learned today. Respectability does not protect you. They will take it just as well as they give it. Anyway, Chris Rock, they are not on your side. What people are against is Will Smith. White people have what's the kink that white people have where they like to see black people be punished? That is white people's kink. They like to see black people be punished. They like to see black people do something that they do not approve of for no real reason. And they want you to grovel. They want you to come grovel. They want you to feel bad, and they want you to be punished. They want you to always know you can be put in your place. You can be put in your place.
And that's a part of like the dehumanization, right? Because like they are never accountable. Like they do shit all the time, every day. Like it's not that black people are out here making more mistakes or being worse. This is what I'm saying. Like I get kicked off Twitter, right? But like people have said way worse shit than me, and they're still on Twitter with active accounts right now. The point is like in my community, I'm a public figure, so they know that like people care about what I'm saying, and I have influence over my community. So therefore, it's like, okay, well, we can't have her saying this, because if she says this, then other Black people will also believe that they can say this. But it's not the same way for white people, because like they literally say all, like, what's that guy? That professor from, he was like a professor at MIT, but now I think he's like retired. It's like Pedro something. He said all type of shit on Twitter. I mean, he was literally saying like Black people are only on the campus because of affirmative action. They don't actually have the qualifications to be in the course at all. He said shit about every group imaginable, all the groups. He said everything that is possible to say. I mean, the tweets just go on. Like his account is for sure still active right now. Like they don't feel like they should take him offline, but it's like ridiculous because this dude has said everything. Like he's way worse than me. Like what?
Reason why these regular ass white people are so fucking offended, because they want to feel like they, for some reason, have power over Will Smith. They, even though they live in the middle of fucking suburbia, their husband is cheating on them and their kids hate them, they still have power over the biggest movie star in the world. And that's why they're so gung-ho on the Will Smith getting his comeuppance, because it's like, I have power over you, Will Smith. You're still a nigger. You're saying, so the people who are on,
you're still a nigger. This is why I use that term and try to explain it. Facts.
Chris Rock side, they do not give a fuck that Chris Rock got slapped. The people who are sitting up here pretending like, oh my God, poor Chris Rock, you were such a class act. Now imagine what they would have said if Chris Rock would have slapped them back.
Yeah.
The narrative would have changed. Then they wouldn't have felt bad for you at all, because Black people are not allowed to be human beings. Notice how when it's white people, there's always justified violence. There's always justified violence. They make jokes about beating their own wives in their comedy stand-ups. They make jokes about beating up, killing, all types of things, all types of terrible things they make jokes about. And obviously, as we see through world history, they do terrible things, but they get justifiable.
Let's like say that again. They do the terrible things. First they make jokes about it, and then they do the terrible things, right? So it's not like it just stops and it's like, oh, okay, well, we're just gonna make a little joke about it and it's all funny. It's for like laughs and giggles. No, it's like a joke. And then other white people go out and actually do it, okay? And then it is on the news and it's in the newspaper. But all those Karens, all those Toms, they don't sit there and they're like, ooh, we should do something about the violence in our community. Because, like, remember, there's still a very large percentage of the population, okay, in this country. So even statistically, when they try to say like Black people are doing all these crimes, it's like not even possible for Black people to do that many crimes, because we're only 10% of the population. Okay, like, yes, Black people are imprisoned more for doing the crimes, but there's just like way more white people. So also, we have the internet. We see y'all out here being awful.
Violence. They get to justify their violence. There is always a reason. And the reason is to protect white supremacy. They all have a code amongst themselves that at all costs we protect white supremacy. So when white people do something violent, there's always a reason. There's always a reason. There's always a reason that makes what they did just. Black people don't get that. Black people do not get that because they don't believe Black people are fully functioning human beings. Right. They believe they are the real human beings, and the rest of us get the scraps. The rest of us are scraps of human beings, right? And so we don't get that. We don't get justifiable violence. We don't get there's a time and a place. We don't get that. You have to act a certain way at all times, or you are a bad person. You are a bad person until proven otherwise. And what Will Smith has done for the past 30 years of his career is prove that he's not a bad person. But all it took is one thing for them to be like, well, Guess Will Smith is this. Guess Will Smith beats his wife. Because you don't get the excuse. Notice how quick they are to forgive white men who do terrible things. They're quick to forgive. That's just one time. That's just justifiable violence. But look at their track record. They love to look at someone's track record. But
not their own.
To a black person, the one thing you do is all of you. It's all of because they don't see you as a.
That's a really good point. You do one thing, and now all of a sudden it cancels out all the other experiences that you have. It cancels out every other aspect of your life. This one thing that you've done is now the most important part of who you are in terms of your humanity. It's the crux of your existence.
Full functioning human being, and that's why it's fuck all white people who are against the Will Smith hit, because you don't get to talk. You don't get to talk. For some reason, people think that us bringing up all the terrible things that these celebrities are doing is us like, oh my gosh, y'all just want to see people cancel. Y'all just, no. What we're pointing out is Jim Carrey doesn't get to fucking have an opinion on Will Smith. Whether you think what Will Smith did is good or bad, Jim Carrey doesn't get an opinion. Alec Baldwin does not get an opinion. Kathy Griffin does not get a fucking opinion. Zoe Kravitz does not get a fucking opinion. You do not get to take the moral high ground when you yourself don't live up to the things you're talking. That's why we're pointing it out. You don't get to speak. May the person who has not sinned cast the first stone. And it's none of y'all. It is
none of those people. And it's the really strange thing about it's just like the constant hypocrisy of living in this country. It's something that I've had to battle with just as I've grown up. It's like the whole country is founded on racism and white supremacy and just taking away rights and laws of Black people every single day. But we're all supposed to sit here and pretend oh, none of that stuff is important. I have to listen to Bill Maher be like, oh yeah, well, if you're talking about making white children feel bad, I'm not for that. Well, shit, who's gonna feel bad then? Because learning the actual history doesn't really make white kids feel good. Why is it that a white child's feelings are supposed to be more important than the facts? And why is it that none of you have ever cared about the Black children's feelings? Do you think it makes the Black children feel good to be like, oh yeah, all the Black people were slaves. That's how it was. No. That's why you see every Black kid looking up to a fucking rapper and Quavo and Killers and shit, because they want to feel powerful. That's why.
Y'all work with rapists. Y'all work with assaulters. Where was this anger when Casey Affleck got an Academy Award? Harvey Weinstein winning Academy Award. Where was it? It's not there because you don't go against whiteness. Everything is about protecting white supremacy. That is what it's all about. So let me not speak on this person, Russell Crowe. Let me not speak on Russell Crowe.
Right.
Because my day might come. My day might come, and I need them to protect me. Like I said, it's an agreement amongst them all that we will protect one another. And Will Smith doesn't get that. Will Smith doesn't get that protection because he's not a part of them. You are expendable. You are expendable to them. And so they feel like, white people feel like they are allowed to decide what is the ultimate sin. And they're deciding over rape, abuse, all those things. This is the ultimate. Getting bitch slapped is the ultimate. Oh my gosh, I don't want to hear it. That is what they decide. And that's why it's nasty. And that's why we're going to bat so hard for Will Smith, because y'all don't have the room. Y'all don't have the room. You don't get to do this. You don't get to decide that all of a sudden Will Smith just did this unforgivable thing. And then the language. Technically, yes, Chris Rock was assaulted, but there's a reason why y'all using that word. There's a reason why y'all saying y'all were triggered. This is the reason why you're saying Will Smith was so angry, belligerent. There's a reason why you are using the words that you are using, because you know it is coded. It is coded, and you know exactly what you are doing. You are fear mongering. You are trying to build people up in this fear that there are always Will Smiths walking around the world, and at any moment you can get your ass clapped. Let's be clear, at any moment you can get your ass clapped, but within reason, and that is the thing.
Within reason is really important here, because here's the thing that I've learned about like weak people in the society. Like they have, especially, I'm not even trying to be funny, but I've seen this like very commonly among gay men. Like they will be on the internet, on TikTok all day talking crazy shit. I mean, they are using words of violence and hate. And I mean, not even to be funny, but like go talk to some black men who are a part of the gay community and like listen to the shit that they have heard or experienced among like white gay men who are like, honestly, not even to be, just to be honest, they're like the most anti-black and the most how do you say it, like phonetically inclined. So like they do not like ugly black people. Like they are the primary advocates for like, the affiliation of blackness and gorillas or monkeys. Like they're quick to call a black person like a monkey nigger. Like it comes out real quick. Okay, like the association, they are very into aesthetics, and maybe that's, I'm qualifying an entire group here, but this is just what I've seen and experienced in my life in art communities, which are full of gay men, and they care about looks. Okay, they care about smells. They care about appearance. Appearances are important, and they use these like words of just like vileness online all the time, but they do it away from the person who could potentially cause, who could do the retaliation. So like they wouldn't say those awful things to the face of the person they're saying it about, because they realize that person might like slap them, hit them, punch them, kill them, right? And so what they do is they do it online. They make television shows about it. They do makeup, and they do other things in like safe spaces where they can openly express their hatred and vileness. So like it didn't stop. It's not better now just because they're saying the shit in a makeup parlor or in a hair studio. They didn't now become nicer. That's not it. They are just doing it in safer spaces where the people that they are talking about cannot say things back, if that makes sense.
That's why the Jada Pinkett of it all is being removed from the narrative, because they want you to believe that Will Smith went on that stage and mollywopped Chris Rock for no apparent reason. For no apparent reason. He was talking shit about Jada Pinkett. He was talking about Jada Pinkett. I don't know where y'all come from, but where I come from, it really is keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Exactly. Like some of y'all, like cultural norms are real. Like you cannot like them. You can have your opinions about it. You can say, I'm not familiar with that culture. Whatever it is that you're saying, where you don't know that you can get mollywop for talking shit about somebody's wife, well, now y'all know. Like everybody, I feel like everybody in the black community, though, doesn't have that excuse. They already know. They already know. Nobody is confused. They already know.
The fuck you making jokes on? Who the fuck you making jokes on? You get what I'm saying? And like the Academy doesn't get to say shit to me, because what even is this culture that you go on stage and just talk shit about people? Like, I'm sorry, y'all invited this.
You
Y'all
did.
invited this culture. And guess what? You had the right one that day. No one cares about Jada Pinkett. And that's why white women can also shut the fuck up, because it just shows you where their feminism lies. How can people like Amy Schumer, who were there, sit up there and say, I was so triggered and traumatized, when Jada Pinkett is right there dealing with alopecia, getting joked on, and there's nothing? And there's
Thank you. Like, how is her like secondhand trauma worse than fucking the whole thing started because Jada Pinkett is actually traumatized? Okay, like, why are we even bringing Amy Schumer? If any other white person who was in the audience and the second or third level trauma that you might feel, okay, but let's go back for a second to post traumatic slave syndrome, because like there were the actual slaves who were enslaved, and now like some of all y'all children have feelings about it. Oh, I feel this and I feel that. Well, guess what, Claire? Like your feelings, I mean, I can't even go there right now. Fuck your feelings, Claire, because honestly, like there are more the more pressing topic is the person who was enslaved and the physiological trauma that they've handed down to their children. Okay, that needs to be dealt with first. And it's just like anytime that it's like trauma on a black body, it's just not the most important. We can't deal with that right now. We have to talk there's more important issues, more pressing issues. And it's just gross. It's gross.
Nothing. And there's nothing. There's no sympathy for her. Ellen the fucking DeGeneres. How does Ellen DeGeneres get to open her fucking mouth and speak on Will Smith when she fucking has people working at her fucking job telling her that she's a piece of shit? How soon we forget? But that's excuse. Did y'all remember how Hollywood band it together to uplift Ellen DeGeneres during her fall?
Yep.
Do we remember? Do we remember? Where's that for Will Smith? Where's that? Once again, protecting white supremacy, protecting it at all costs. White women don't get to, but this just shows their feminine. They are so fucking nasty. Like the way in which white women move throughout society, I've already told y'all, the world is against white women. I am with the world. Like they move through society so nasty and so calculated, but then they want to be the face of movements. And it's like, this is why I don't take you seriously. This is why I do not march for you. This is why you don't stand with me.
Right. This is why I do not march for you. This is why it's really hard to get behind feminism, because it's like y'all have created feminism for white women, and as much as I am female, there has to be a different group for being black and female, because we don't have the same problems, and society just does not see me the same way that they see a Karen. So I think Karen has to have her white feminism over here, and then I have to have my black feminism over here. And then maybe one day in 100 years, when we have 17 million more Beyoncés and a new planet full of black people, then we can talk about like feminism for wherever the Europeans land. But like honestly, like I'm not seeing it on this planet, in this country, in this decade, in this century. Like I'm not seeing it.
Because y'all are nasty. Where is this for Jada? Where is it? Where's the call you make to Jada to make sure she's okay? Why did none of these white women who have anything to say go, I called Jada. Jada said she was okay. Now here's my opinion. The closest thing we got to that was kind of from Sophia Bush, who kind of put Jada Pinkett's feelings into all of this, but her comment was still nasty. That brings me to fuck-ass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Let the respectability politics go. In the top of the video, I explained to you where respectability politics get you fucking nowhere. They get you someplace to an extent, then you're knocked back to the very beginning. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not even married to a black woman. So why he has an opinion on this and black women, and I don't give a fuck. The reason why, as a black person, you shouldn't, when you are a visible black person who is respected, you have a duty to stand with all black people, is because white people will use you against other black people. White people already believe black people are one big family and we're all the same.
Right.
And so when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar...
And that's a very weird assumption to make. Who thinks that millions of people from different cultural ethnic groups, from different lineages, who speak different languages are all the same? Like that's insane. That's nuts. Something's wrong with them, bro.
Who is respected amongst white people because he is seen as a respectable black. When he comes out and says Will Smith set black people back, women back, what the fuck are you talking about, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I want to know what you're fucking talking about. What does this have to do with women? What does it have to do with women? As a woman...
Thank you. Like, Will Smith did the slap and Chris Rock was slapped. What does this have to do with women? Like, what? Make it make sense. And honestly, just shut the fuck up, because Kareem can get slapped too.
A black woman myself, Will Smith, there's not anything Will Smith can do that can set me back. It simply cannot happen. It cannot happen. I do not live in the same world as Will Smith. Number one. Number two, you're doing more harm to the black community than Will Smith ever could do by slapping someone. What you are doing is showing that the higher ups in the black community are not okay with violence, and you're co-signing a racist rhetoric that all these white people are running around doing. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, let me tell you something. If there was someone, a white person, who watched the Academy Awards and saw Will Smith get put them hands on Chris Rock and thought, wow, black people are so fucking disgusting, they already thought that.
Right. So that instance did not have, so it wasn't this like, life altering moment that changed the way that a racist group of people saw another race of people. They were racist before, okay? It like yesterday they were racist, and then they saw the video and it was like another. It's almost like, when people say you see what you want to see, people go out looking for evidence to support their claim. This is why it's very hard to really think that like or to use, I'm trying to say machine learning to make recommendations, but, and I've talked about this before, it's like like inference, right? Because sometimes you think this happened because of this and this happened because of this, but normally it's just like there's just so many other factors that are coming into play that really cause that thing to happen, and you just might not know about those factors. So you're just jumping to conclusions, like here you go, whoop, jump into conclusions about like what you think and what you believe that isn't actually based on facts. And so that's real.
They already thought that. They already thought that. They are already moving through life with the idea that black people are disgusting. Whether it be flamboyant or whether it be subconscious, they're already moving through life with the idea that black people are disgusting. Black people will slap. They already believe that. And then let's say that they didn't. What does it say about the person where all it takes is one black person doing one thing for you to be like, oh, these niggas don't deserve shit. These niggas don't deserve shit. What does that say? What does that? They're saying that they was never in community with us. Nothing that those people have, I want. I do not want to be near those people, because that's the thing. This is how I know we don't act. Our activism is not the same. I don't want to be around those people. I don't want nothing from those people. I don't want to be in community with those people. I don't want to work with them. I do not want to work with. No, I don't want nothing from them people. And that's the difference between me and you, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't want nothing from racist white people. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I'd rather die on my sword than take something from a racist. It's just never, and that's the difference. You still believe that we need to tap dance for white people in order for white people to respect us. It's not gonna happen. You cannot.
Yeah, sorry, Kareem, it isn't going to happen. The respectability politics doesn't get you anywhere. Having respect for yourself, and then having respect for yourself enough to stand up and say this shit is uncomfortable or something isn't right for me, that's having respect for yourself. And other people of all races actually do respect that. But like just pushing this false propaganda of what you believe is respectable is actually not. I mean, it just makes people look at you as a bitch and really like a nigger, because at the end of the day, white men who do consider themselves men are not thinking you are respectable because you're a simp. They have more respect for Will Smith.
Fight racism with respectability. The sheer fact that you are trying to be respectable proves that you've already lost. The minute you believe you have to act a certain way for people to respect you, you have already lost, because you are already resting on the idea that white people should not have the right to not respect you as is. You're not winning. You're not winning anything. You're not gaining. You're taking one step forward and three steps back. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you should be absolutely fucking ashamed of yourself for publishing that article. You should. You should, because you're unlearned. You're nasty. It was anti-black. It was anti-black women. And it's sickening. It's sickening. The idea that one black person has to speak for all black people. Imagine the burden. Maybe that's something you have to do in your day, yeah. But it's a new day, baby. It's a new day, baby. And if Will Smith can't have the protection of black people, what else will he have? You don't think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they'll throw you out too? That's the part that I don't understand about the respectable people. You don't think they'll throw you out too? I doubt it. Next person is Zoe Kravitz. Woo, woo, woo. Do the biracials fall?
I'm telling you, the biracials are a problem. I just wish people would just separate them. Like, stop trying to make it feel to us like by putting Zoe Kravitz places that this has anything to do with the black community. Zoe Kravitz is not black. So this, like, giving her things is doing something for biracials. It's not doing it. Like, I'm sorry, but her and Zendaya can go have many seats. They can put them in all the films and all the movies. I'm never gonna watch them. Like, I'm not giving any money, no time. I'm not following them on any platforms. Like, we don't live in the same universe. So I'll just leave that there.
I've been telling y'all Zoe can't act. Zoe has no charisma. Zoe is floating on vibes alone. She's a pretty girl, but that's about it.
I'm sorry, but Zoe is not pretty. Zoe is simply thin. And her hair is weird. Like, it's not serving for me.
All I've ever had for Zoe fucking Kravitz. I am so happy that people are uncovering Zoe Kravitz anti-black past. It's so funny that people say cancel culture, cancel culture, cancel culture, and us showing you what Zoe Kravitz has said proves to you that we really be letting people off the hook. We really do. Zoe Kravitz should have sat back and ate her food. Your family is a bit too fucking messy for you to be out here casting blame. And once again, like I told you at the top of the video, we bring up the past to prove how these people don't have the fucking room to judge Will Smith. They do not. I leave you with nothing. Hollywood is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
These are the last people who should be frowning their nose at a little slap.
Right.
Last people, Tony Rock, you're a flop. All the nepotism in the world, and you're still a flop. Do I have anything else to say? And good hair, by the way, is abysmal to black people. We will not shift the narrative that good hair was something great for the black community and black women. That documentary was a mockery of black women. It was to make fun of black women and belittle black women for their hair. Anyway, I think that is it. I am done with this. Team Will, I ain't got nothing else to say.
I'm Team Will, me too. I'm making t-shirts. I don't know what I'm gonna put on the t-shirt, but it's gonna say something to the effect of like, I love Will. Will is incredible. Oh, this whole time I don't think I had the camera on. Damn, that's okay. Well, at least we heard, you still heard what I had to say, so